good can a WNBA player's signature shoe really be, bro?
Let's find out.
What is good, YouTube? It is your boy Stashed Hooper, aka. And today we are doing a performance review of the Sabrina ones. So off rip, I will tell you guys just a little bit about the shoe. Obviously, these are the Nike Sabrina ones, which is the first signature shoe of the athlete Sabrina Ionescu. I don't know how to pronounce the name. It's something international. I have no idea. But this is her first signature shoe with Nike, so shout out to her. The colorway that I have in hand are actually the Sparks, which is funny because she doesn't play for the Sparks. And they retail for $130 if you get the normal retail version. And I believe $150. Again, these are before taxes if you get the Nike ID version. Additionally, I would say that these shoes fit true to size, so you don't have to size up, size down. If you want 11 in Nike, 11 in any other brand, get an 11 with these. So without further ado,
let's get into the review.
So if you're new here, you won't know what we start off with, but if you're a returning viewer, I appreciate you. Off rip, what we do, we look at the looks /
swagging.
So in my opinion, the swag / looks on this shoe are pretty clean. Again, the colorway I got in hand, they're pretty decent. Really good detailing on the shoe. A cool little back tab. Overall, just I think to summarize, a very detailed shoe. The fading from like the purple to yellow to orange, I'm a fan. And I think that this is probably the best colorway that was available when I purchased them. But with Nike ID now being available for them, I would say that this is probably not the way to go. What's up, my brother?
Shout out to the boys.
It's plugged in.
Can you unplug it?
You were about to take out my whole setup, buddy. Love you.
Did I put my phone down? No.
Oh, it's right here.
It is? Fuck. You're an ass.
I'm such a silly goose. Alright, but back to the review. As I was saying, really clean. But I think there are a lot of other better options out there considering that Nike ID is out. So I would say don't get these. So just for that reason, I'm going to summarize it and say 7.5 out of 10. Clean, but there could be a lot better considering there's Nike ID. And like if you get a Nike ID and it's not a 10 out of 10, that's kind of your fault. I feel like it's like Subway. If you hate on Subway, if you go there and make a bad sandwich, it's your fault. So Nike ID, I think this would easily be a 10 out of 10. So next we move on to materials. So up top we do have layered textile materials, which I will say feel very high quality for the price of $130. And on foot, it does have a very good feel to it. Not too stiff, not too light. But something I will say about the Sabrina ones is it takes a little bit of time to break in because right here on the forefoot area, it seemed a little bit stiff and it was kind of hurting my foot. But after a while, after a few uses, it seemed to be fine. So I would say overall pretty amazing, just takes a little time to break in. And I will be getting into the traction materials in the next section. But for the upper pretty much materials, I'll give a solid 8 out of 10. Next, we move on to traction. The Sabrina ones actually feature a full-length herringbone-like traction pattern. I like to call it funky herringbone because, as you can see, it's like kind of herringbone, but kind of not. Which, again, I don't mind. For those who don't know, herringbone is kind of known to be probably one of, if not the best traction pattern in hoop shoe history. So when it features something similar to that, you know what, I'll take it. In regards to performance, I would say that the traction on these Sabrina ones are actually phenomenal. Had very minimal slippage laterally, frontwards, backwards, all that. The shoe had a very nice high-pitched squeak. Did pick up a little bit of dust, which again, a lot of hoop shoes do when I play on a poopy court, so. But with that being said, just like when you're on the toilet, a little bit of wipeage and you'll be fine. Now in regards to the material of the traction, on the one I have in hand, it is a solid rubber outsole all the way around. But in some colorways, you actually have a translucent outsole with a solid like line down the middle. Like this is solid, but this is not. With that being said, that information doesn't really matter. That's just me giving you fun facts. I would say for outdoor use, to stay away from using these outdoors. The rubber is not that hard, and I would say that the grooves are actually not deep at all. So for indoor use, you could probably get a lot of use out of these. But for outdoor use, I'd say frick no. But to conclude, amazing traction. I will give these a solid 8.5 out of 10 in regards to traction. And next, we move on to the cushion. The cushion setup for the Sabrina ones features a full-length Nike React midsole alongside a 4-foot Zoom Air unit, which needless to say, now what I will say about this cushion setup is for lighter individuals such as myself, around 185.
I'm not light.
But for lighter individuals, on a real note, I would say that this cushion setup is more than enough and feels absolutely phenomenal. I felt like the shoe had very good court feel, felt very close to the ground, while also providing very, very phenomenal cushion. But one thing I will say and that I've heard is that if you're a heavier individual, this cushion setup will not do justice for you. And I've also heard if you're pretty athletic, maybe don't get these.
But luckily for me, I'm not either of those.
So overall, I'm a very big fan of the cushion setup, and I will give these a solid 8.5 out of 10 in regards to cushion.
We like that cushion.
Next, we move on to the support of the Sabrina ones. So overall, I would say that support on this shoe is good, but again, nothing too special. Like I mentioned earlier, the Sabrina ones don't feature a crazy cushion setup, so you're pretty low to the ground, which provides a pretty good foundation for your shoe. And alongside this rigger and a mid-foot TPU plate, and on top of this, just the tight upper and I think pretty good lacing system, I would say the lockdown / support is actually pretty good on the shoe. So overall, I will give these a solid 8.5 out of 10. Pretty good. What's good, my brother?
I need television.
Shout out to Doobie, the Chucky Milk Guzzler. But yeah, next we're moving on to weight. And for the Sabrina ones, I would say that these are one of the lightest shoes I have ever used. I'm not one to bring out a scale and give you the exact ounces of these, but I will say just based off of feel, because again, we're not scientific here, we're just giving you the honest opinion. I'd say that these are crazy light. I would say very similar to the Jason Tatum ones, which are like the lightest basketball shoe ever. So for weight, I'm gonna give these a 5 out of 5. Amazing, super light. So bang, these shoes get a solid 8.27 out of 10, which, you know, that's a solid rating. Overall, I would say that Sabrina ones are a great hoop shoe and probably one of the best at its price point. For $130, I would say the only options that I would recommend over these are possibly the New Balance 2 3s and maybe the Way of Wade 808 3s.
And maybe the AR ones, but I haven't popped out a review of those yet, so I'm not saying anything.
But overall, I would say the phenomenal support, great cushion setup, and the me likey traction. I'd say that overall this combines to be a phenomenal shoe. I would 100% recommend these shoes to anyone if you're not absolutely huge or like Jalen Green-esque athleticism. So you know what? Go snag them. Phenomenal shoes, especially since these are the only basketball shoe available on Nike ID. I kind of like that creativity aspect to it and being able to have your own version of a hoop shoe. So just between all that, especially the Nike ID aspect, I would say go snag them. So bang, that is it. That's the end of the review. Let me know what other shoes you would like for me to review. If you want to enter the shoe giveaway for this month, here are the shoes I might be giving away based off a sub count. I might lower those amounts if we aren't close by the end of the month. And here's how to enter the giveaway. So if you want to see more about that, you can pause it and look at it real quick because I'm moving on to the next. But bang, I appreciate y'all for watching this far because not a lot of people do. If you could like, comment, subscribe, I would personally appreciate it.
It's the Yuckmeister.
But I hope you guys have a good one. I will do my best to. Adios.